The President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, is General Colin Powell, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Thank you very much, Jan. Mr. President, distinguished guests, fellow veterans, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure to be with you again at this sacred memorial to our fallen Vietnam buddies. For over 10 years, the wall has stood as a poignant and silent symbol of sacrifice. Yet in its silence, it still speaks to us of valor, of honor, of devotion to duty. It speaks to us of the horror of war and reminds us of who pays the ultimate price. It inspires us to use our strength to preserve the peace and to prevent war at all costs. I never come here, never come here without being touched to the depth of my soul as I run my hand over the name of a friend long departed but never forgotten. I always leave here comforted by a final glance at the statue of the 3 GIs behind you who approached the wall to stand guard, to search for the name of a friend, or perhaps to search for their own name. They symbol the eternal vigilance of American warriors, of America's armed forces. I have brought many foreign visitors here to visit this wall, but I don't bring them directly here. First, I take them to visit the Jefferson Monument to see the words inscribed there which capture the essence of the American spirit and dream. And next we go to the Lincoln Memorial, and I draw their attention to the words that President Lincoln spoke as the Civil War was coming to a close, and Lincoln knew that his next task in life was to heal and reunite a nation. You remember those words? With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and his orphan, to bind up the nation's wounds. In the sad aftermath of the Vietnam War, no single act by a grateful people has done more to bind up our nation's wounds than this memorial wall. Two years ago, the celebrations following Desert Storm furthered the national healing process as those parades and celebrations gave us the opportunity to pay tribute to our Korean and Vietnam veterans, as well as the veterans of the Gulf War, to give those Vietnam veterans the parades that they never had. The healing process, as we know, will never be complete until we have accounted for all those who did not come home from Vietnam. We all here know that the Vietnam War caused deep wounds within American society. But now, the passage of time, a growing spirit of understanding of different views, a pressing need to move forward together as a nation, allow us now to complete our reconciliation and to heal those wounds. And therefore, my dear friends, at this wall of honor, as the senior Vietnam veteran on active duty and as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, I want to welcome and introduce you to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the United States, our President, President Bill Clinton.
Thank you. Thank you very much, General Powell, General McCaffrey, to my good friend Lou Fuller, whom I did not know was coming here today. I thank you so much. To all of you who are shouting, I have heard you, I ask you now to hear me. I have heard you. Some have suggested that it is wrong for me to be here with you today because I did not agree a quarter of a century ago with the decision made to send the young men and women to battle in Vietnam. Well, so much the better. Here we are celebrating America today. Just as war is freedom's cost, disagreement is freedom's privilege, and we honor it here today. But I ask all of you to remember the words that have been said here today, and I ask you at this monument, can any American be out of place? And can any commander-in-chief be in any other place but here on this day? I think not. Many volumes have been written about this war and those complicated times, but the message of this memorial is quite simple. These men and women fought for freedom, brought honor to their communities, loved their country, and died for it. They were known to all of us. There's not a person in this crowd today who did not know someone on this wall. 4 of my high school classmates were there. 4 who shared with me the joys and trials of childhood and did not live to see the 70 years the Scripture says we are entitled to. Let us continue to disagree if we must about the war, but let us not let it divide us as a people any longer. No one has come here today to disagree about the heroism of those whom we honor, but the only way we can really honor their memory is to resolve to live and serve today and tomorrow as best we can, and to make America the best that she can be. Surely that is what we owe to all those whose names are etched in this beautiful memorial. As we all resolve to keep the finest military in the world, let us remember some of the lessons that all agree on. If the day should come when our servicemen and women must again go into combat, let us all resolve they will go with the training, the equipment, the support necessary to win, and most important of all, with a clear mission to win. Let us do what is necessary to regain control over our destiny as a people here at home, to strengthen our economy and to develop the capacities of all of our people, to rebuild our communities and our families where children are raised and character is developed. Let us keep the American dream alive. Today, let us also renew a pledge to the families whose names are not on this wall because their sons and daughters did not come home. We will do all we can to give you not only the attention you have asked for, but the answers you deserve.
Bring everybody else home.
On today I have ordered that by Veterans Day, we will have declassified all United States government records related to POWs and MIAs from the Vietnam War. All those records, except for a tiny fraction, which could still affect our national security or invade the privacy of their families. As we allow the American public to have access to what our government knows, we will press harder to find out what other governments know. We are pressing the Vietnamese to provide this accounting not only because it is the central outstanding issue in our relationship with Vietnam, but because it is a central commitment made by the American government to our people, and I intend to keep it. You heard General Powell quoting President Lincoln, "With malice toward none and charity for all, let us bind up the nation's wounds." Lincoln speaks to us today across the years. Let us resolve to take from this haunting and beautiful memorial a renewed sense of our national unity and purpose, a deepened gratitude for the sacrifice of those whose names we touched and whose memories we revere, and a finer dedication to making America a better place for their children and for our children too. Thank you all for coming here today. God bless you, and God bless America.